Hello and a very warm welcome to Hamburg International Airport. Guys, today we're going to be flying with Turkish Airlines in their short-haul economy class through to Istanbul. It's going to be my very first experience flying with them short-haul, so really looking forward to checking it out. Come along, we'll check it out together. Like so many major German airports, Hamburg is very light, bright and airy and also incredibly efficient. One thing just to be aware of, beyond the very fast and speedy check-in, is the amount of food options before you actually go airside. Following the check-in that day, I actually headed to one of the many different options just raised up above before you actually go through security. I would call this out as being a really big tip, not just because of the various different options here or the outside seating areas overlooking the airfield, but also as you get through, there's so often very little to choose from apart from the usual Germanic food options airside in their airports. In no time at all, it was ready to board and set off to Istanbul. It was to be a slightly older Airbus A321 with business class as ever positioned at the front in a 2-2 configuration and economy just behind, largely in a 3-3. I did notice close to where I was seating, there was a row with just 2 seats in, but I didn't think that would at all be one to go for, given the fact that it really doesn't have much of a view at all. In general though, cabin looked really good, seats very smart indeed, and also as modern as you'd need, certainly in terms of the look and feel. Legroom, although a little bit on the tight side, generally was fine for a shorter flights. The seats also featured overhead air vents as an additional option, as I know these are popular with certain travellers. Well, unfortunately on this particular departure, Turkish Airlines did take the opportunity to blast the pop music, so you'll have to forgive the music over the top just here. That said, there were some really nice views, particularly out over the left-hand side of the aircraft departing Hamburg. The flight was only around 2.5 hours or so down over Eastern Europe, just tucking into Istanbul in northwest Turkey. Now, the next 2 areas is really where the airline excelled. Certainly for what was a fairly short haul trip, I thought the entertainment was excellent. For each seat to have its own seatback entertainment system with a really wide range choice was superb. What was also superb was no doubt the food. This was almost up there with some short haul business catering that I've had. Huge amounts of selection. The taste was absolutely fantastic and choice also very good indeed. Top marks in this particular regard. With views of this gorgeous sunset over Eastern Europe, it gave me time to reflect on a couple of additional areas that the airline are doing very well in. Just as detailing around the cup, for example, it's an area that a lot of airlines don't go in on, but was for sure a nice touch. In addition to that, shortly before arriving, there was also an overview for the tighter flight connections of where their gates were located. Again, for passengers with tight connections, a really nice touch. In terms of arrivals, this was really very pretty indeed. As mentioned, it was a fairly short late afternoon, early evening flight, and it was well dark by the time that we got into Istanbul. The approach certainly was nice and speedy, and we were on the ground in absolutely no time at all. Well, that wraps up a very good first experience with Turkish Airlines in their short-haul economy. In many ways, it slightly over-exceeded expectations. You'll find me now in Istanbul International Airport, a very impressive surround just here. I'll shortly be flying on to Dubai in their long-haul economy product. So if you fancy joining me for that one as well, click that link in the bottom left-hand side. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.